Hello everyone! Today I will review these two Deadpool movies. At the beginning of the first movie, a man in tight black and red clothes, carrying two swords on his back, was sitting in a taxi. After listening to the driver's chatter, he wholeheartedly comforts him and shares eloquent love truths. Yes, this is our lead role. Deadpool, a mutant, was on the way to find the enemy but left the bullet bag at home and forgot the taxi money. Francis, he sat and swung his foot on the bridge, painting and dancing to his favorite song. Don't forget to paste your name to the room. Meanwhile, the villain Francis is coming to the meeting place to meet partners. Although the number of goods is not enough, he is not afraid. Otherwise, he also threatens to peel the opponent's neck, because Francis is also a mutant, having power beyond ordinary people. Deadpool finally waited for his convoy. He dropped himself from the wall of the bridge to jump onto the first car. The driver slammed the steering wheel, causing a colleague to be thrown out. He brought a bad picture like his dog to ask about Francis's whereabouts. Everyone started to fight. A motorbike rider chased him, and a man in the car flew out to confront him. The guy just climbed up and was about to take a gun to shoot him. Wade quickly brakes hard, stuffing him up and smashing his face. Another ran up without waiting for his accomplices and started shooting. He drove the steering wheel to make the car flip in the air. While flipping, he didn't forget to headbutt a motorbike driver. Do you not remember if I missed any name? The result is one guy flying first, another crushed like that. The whole highway immediately descended into chaos. At Xavier's school for students with special capabilities, Colossus is having breakfast. They see the news. He called Negasonic, and the student both drove a special aircraft to the scene. Meanwhile, on the avenue, people screamed and fled as Wade slowly opened the car door. Before he could say anything, he was hit by a bullet. He only has 12 bullets. After a few moments of witty remarks, he dives in the air to shoot 2 bullets down at these 2 bad guys. A motorbike rider came and shot a hole in his arm. He shot 3 bullets but all missed and let him run away. Wade ran through the rain of ammunition, lying in wait for a guy. The gun appeared and the 6th bullet exploded to finish him. 2 other men who had just pulled their guns were shot by him. He jumped around and sprung into action, so he took a bullet straight into the shoulder. He thought Wade was dead, but didn't expect the dead to be him. Because he was so angry, he gave him a few more shots. A group of Francis's subordinates attacked Wade. He launched the last bullet, a shot through these 3 guys. Wade jumped to find Francis but didn't see him. While the 3 mutants were shot and did not die, they stood up and pulled out 2 knives. But before they could do anything, he skewered them. Talking about the origin of this feud, it must start 2 years ago. Wade Wilson was originally a Special Forces soldier. After returning, he worked honestly as a mercenary. Whoever hired him, he broke into a stranger's house, solving a creep who specializes in watching long-legged girls. He also reminded him that he would break his nose if he still peeked at the good girl. Then Friendly gave him a kiss. In the hearts of beautiful girls, Wade is their hero, but he knew he was just a bad guy destroying bad guys. As usual, he returned to the bar's bar happy now. There is a Deadpool fan group devoted to the lives of people. In the shop, he just called a glass of water for the girl selling floats to play the stoning game. He gave the fat guy and tried to scam him black, causing him to be beaten. Also here, he met the love of his life. She and her strokes are far away from her life. She said she was a business girl, with her own capital, also due to the flow of life. She said she was sexually harassed by her uncle. It is true. The young man took the money in his pocket, plus a dining card, in exchange for 48 minutes of fun with her. It was really fun. The 2 played and threw the cake into the hole, and were so good that she brought a bonus to exchange gifts. After that, she took another 3 minutes for him. It is now paid back. The 2 rushed together to stretch the tendon. From Valentine's Day, Lunar New Year to Halloween. From short hair that has recently been smooth, they became the sweetest couple in the world. On the occasion of Christmas, when he took all the courage to propose, she of course agreed. Wade happily hugged the beauty, gave her a kiss, then took a souvenir photo. But life is an endless string of disasters. There are only short, happy moments like commercials. When preparing to exercise together, he suddenly fainted. Both came to the hospital and learned that he had cancer. This is like a slap in the face. While Vanessa always calculates plan A, B until Z to save him, hoping the doctor will have a way to extend his life, Wade just wants to take advantage of the remaining moments to watch her for a long time. About the time later, the two still loved each other, but Vanessa is always sad. She did not want Wade to leave her, and she will be beside him no matter what difficulties. That night, he went to the pub and took photos with beautiful people. His best friend asked for a photo of Wade as a souvenir. Then he went to see a strange customer who told him he represented an organization. Not only could they stop his cancer, but also make him a superhero. Multi-level sounds good, but Wade must believe. He just smiled and said when he needed to contact him, until he came home still restless. Now he has someone to take care of, so even if it was just a fragile opportunity, he wanted to hold this last chance. So he went to the address. Wade was tightly bound in the forest, pushed inside on the way. He just heard the screams. There are people on the back full of thorns. Some people play dead. Arriving, Wade was welcomed by a beautiful woman named Angel, extremely violent. Ordinary people would be very scared, but Wade only made nervous jokes to the person in charge, Ajax. He injected the super soldier serum into Wade, then pushed the patient to extreme stress. This process is extremely painful, starting a series of days imprisoned in iron cages, hanging for punching like a sandbag, and locked in the ice chest. He only has two roads. One is mutation with superpowers. The second is to go to bed to make friends with the Earth. During the time of relaxation, Wade talked with you. He mentioned his family, remembered his love, Vanessa. Because he wanted to extend the time for that friend, he constantly mocked. Finally made him pay attention when spelling his real name, Francis. Francis decided to play the ultimate move, locking him into the glass cage. Wade was surprised to know that there was no superhero here. In fact, he turned the patient into mutants and sold them as super slaves. The place where they were driven to murder people joined the war. Wade stopped in his hand, telling Ajax he had something sticky in his teeth. Ajax was an extremely angry person. He closed the glass cage and pulled out all the oxygen inside. Lack of air made him extremely tense. Both people are constantly angry, more terrible than the cheap skin. Extremely painful and ugly. But unexpectedly, Wade passed the final test and successfully mutated. He said his body could now heal cancer cells, but the side effect is that his handsome face has now become a devil. Ajax decided to lock him again in the cell. Wade angrily banged his head on him, and that is also the biggest mistake of Ajax. After they went all out, he got separated, spinning, just robbed in his mouth earlier. Use a thumb to slip out a small fire, exploding the whole lab. He rushed to put out the fire, horrified to see the person in his heart disappeared. Wade rushed out from the fire to beat him on the face. Beat. Both use fire extinguishers. His torn shirt, he rushed out to punch him and could not help. But right now, Ajax told himself that he was the only one who could heal his ugly body. Wade was immediately swayed by his offer, then threw him away. In the end, he plugged an iron bar into Wade. Pins fixed him on the floor, and Ajax left. The room was sunk in the flames. Everything began to collapse. The sad friend beside him called Wade. The next day, Wade emerged from the pile. It turned out that he also had the ability to regenerate cells. The next day, he stood from afar to observe Vanessa. While silently following her, he suffered all the stares of the people. They see him as a monster. He is not brave enough to face the beauty. He had to go to a pub to find his close friend, Weasel. Weasel now even thought he did too much, until he saw Wade's true face. The thing that Weasel said now looks like wilted butter or a terrain map. He said he would find Ajax to heal his face. His best friend suggested that he should find a suit to cover the ugly body and choose a cool nickname. Wade accidentally looked at the betting board, decided to take the name Deadpool. After that, he used a white cloth to design his clothes like Egypt. Start looking for Ajax by walking everywhere, dealing with his henchmen. After the bloody purge, he had to go to the laundry room to clean. An old woman shared her experience of using bleach and lemon, or wearing red clothes straight. Seeing reason, Wade immediately designed a new red outfit. Every day, there is only fighting Ajax's juniors, attacking his business areas. Despite the location being the office, warehouse, or toilet, male or female gender. Feeling the name of the world so faint, so he shot quickly. Francis's scoreboard was almost full. The search started more positively when he found the representative of Sermit. As soon as he saw Wade, he ran away. He was caught by him and officially enjoyed the sun at that time. He finally found the bastard Francis, and we return to the first paragraph. After skewering the other guy and tearing him up, Deadpool also chased the running motorcycle. Deadpool launched his sword, blocking Francis's car, causing Francis to fly away into a pile. Not waiting for him to stand up, Wade went to the corner, then studied according to CZ7 all the time, continuously mocking him, making Francis not realize who he was. Then stabbed a sword in his chest. Right now, he revealed his status for him to know who he was. He was about to give Francis a punch when he was hit by the iron fist of the big metal man, Colossus. Colossus gently threw Deadpool flying away. The big child starting teaching ethics and 6th grade civics education. The goal is to recruit Deadpool as a member of the X-Men. While talking, he still punched Francis. Used a manhole cover to throw at his head again.
Colossus said Deadpool didn't kill anyone. While explaining himself as a good person doing good deeds, Francis seized the opportunity to escape. Wade was very surprised and angry, jumped to punch Colossus in exchange for a broken hand. Tried punching into dangerous places, then broke the second hand. He looked like a beaten rag doll. Then he returned to the rock again to Colossus. He broke his feet. As soon as he stood up, he was slammed by iron fists. Deadpool was locked by the Iron Man and was dragged away. He had to sacrifice his hand and jumped out of the trash, leaving the hands with the iron. He returned to the blind old lady's house. Since the day at the laundry shop, he had stayed in her house because the blind will not see Wade's wrinkled face. That evening, he reached out the newborn hand to touch the old lady's face. Confided that he did not know whether to tell the truth to the beauty. Blind Al talked about appearance not being everything. Love is blind, in exchange for a harsh sentence the blind grandmother has. Francis returned with a bruised face. He asked Angel to sew the wound for himself. After, he planned revenge. The two came to Weasel's place to ask for Deadpool's whereabouts. Saw the photo of Deadpool taken with Vanessa. Well, they grabbed Weasel's neck. Fortunately, there were customers in the bar supporting him, so Francis left. Weasel immediately called Wade. 2 people went to Vanessa's shop to find her. It is true that this place is only suitable for people over 18 years old. His muse is still as beautiful as before, fiery. So his courage all evaporated. He ran into the toilet himself. At this time, Vanessa received news of her boyfriend Wade. Excited, she ran out into the rain. Seeing a man wearing a hat, she thought it was the person she loved. But unexpectedly, it was Francis. She was knocked out and carried away by him. Wade went out to find the girlfriend's wallet. Wade angrily returned home. Received messages from Francis. Weasel and Blind Al prepared him 3,000 bullets and countless guns equipped to his teeth. A few more magazines. Deadpool demanded the gun in the old lady's hand. He also told the old lady about 116 pounds of cash under her bed. After finishing, Weasel announced his best friend. But everyone's body is worried. Wade is only going to the mansion to find 2 X-Men members for help, with the condition that he will join this team. All 3 squeezed into the film taxi. In the trunk of the car now is Dopender, the driver. The driver said he had handled the enemy's name. Deadpool feels very proud of this. When all 3 stepped out coolly, until Deadpool realized something was wrong. It turned out he forgot his weapon bag again. Weasel called him a taxi, but because of some incidents, he could not pick up. Well, they don't need to fight. In front, the soldiers arranged guns at the team. Francis challenged Deadpool to say his name. Angel did a super cool dance like never going to the bridge. Weasel said that only Colossus could take it. But nothing, he was punched away. Negasonic was busy looking thin without caring. After that, the fiery person was thrown into the container. Francis ordered the soldiers to shoot bullets. Deadpool pulled Negasonic to avoid bullets. Colossus was not afraid of guns. He threw the wheels to defeat 2 soldiers. Angel is very strong, pushing people with a big uncle. The Iron Man constantly punched Angel. Despite being controlled, Angel still knocked Colossus down and gave a few more punches that made him ragged. This side, Deadpool rushed to pull the white flag to surrender. Tell them to withdraw, and he will spare their lives. The response to the gentle affection is a rain of ammunition. Deadpool went all the way, withdrawing 2 swords, slashing through the crowd, making them countless. Then also skewered one guy. Next, jumped up and slashed the player to make the goal. Very quickly, Deadpool had hit deep inside, defeating each name one by one. Negasonic also pushed a car, crushing 2 soldiers. Deadpool was about to slash down when he realized it was his old friend. After exchanging a few sentences, he took him on the road. On this side, the Iron Man threw Angel flying away. After that, he went back and forth to see that she showed a huge weapon. During the distraction, Angel broke his 2 eggs. Deadpool glued the task force to arrange the name of Francis. He stood above to see the blood boiling. Francis came to shoot him. Negasonic makes the iron padding, using an outbreak of energy to bring him up, but unfortunately only halfway. Deadpool just climbed on the road. Francis put Vanessa into a vacuum chamber. The beauty blamed him for abandoning his face. Francis brings a pair of fists. Deadpool also pulled out 2 swords to respond. He quickly dodged his hit and rotated his waist to launch at the vacuum chamber. Because only one Deadpool has lost the advantage. Being slashed, Francis hit him with a hammer. Deadpool got a shaft of a metamorphosis, pinned his foot into the container, used the guidance to cut off the sword. He threw the thrown Deadpool. Losing all weapons, both rushed into close combat. It is true that the battle of 2 stupid guys, hit constantly without knowing to die. Francis landed a hit on Deadpool's head and constantly punched his head. And the heartwarming strokes were very painful and opened. Vanessa used her hands without drawing the sword. She rushed to crash into Francis and then fell down. Their eyes touched, they just wanted to say they loved each other for a long time. Around them, flowers bloomed, birds sang romantic music. But Francis grabbed her neck. Deadpool sat up and removed the knife
in his boot. Below, Colossus was using neck ropes. Negasonic saw and used fire to fly to a flying sound of her. Also exploding the scrap heap, the upper shock also fell. Wade kept Vanessa safe, and the Francis man fell down by the container. Deadpool supports her into a vacuum cage. Before the collapse, he used his strength to throw the glass cage away, and he was buried in the rubble. Colossus and Negasonic came to open the vacuum for Vanessa. The 3 of them looked up to see Wade and Francis still punching each other in the rubble. Deadpool sat on his body and punched his hands tired. He asked him to fix his face, but Francis laughed because it was all a trick. Wade was angry the person withdrew his gun at his head. Colossus appears to be moral again. Let the executioner go, spare his life. It sounded so headache-inducing, so Deadpool gave Francis a bullet, causing Colossus to vomit. Deadpool said these perverted guys should let him go a little early so that he still has another reincarnation. The beauty came to see him. She angrily punched him twice, asking why he abandoned her. She hit the younger brother of Let Go. Wade said sorry. Over the years, he really had difficulty, and he missed her very much. He should have found her sooner. But under that mask was an ugly face. Vanessa gently removed his mask. Wade still had a bandage mask. In short, she accepts everything, the ugly of the person she loves. He said under the outfit is super quality, always honey. The 2, who did not hold back, had a passionate kiss. So the first movie ends. Let's continue in part 2. After the first part, the second part opened with a sad setting. Wade smoked and rested the music box, turned on a sad song and smashed the furniture in the house. On the wall, filled with the image of his muse, Vanessa. He laid out over 4,500 liters of gasoline, tapped a fire. His whole body immediately exploded. But will our brother die? We need to know the reason for this act, right? The story starts 6 weeks ago. Wade used his ability to eliminate pressure, taking out gangsters. Just earning money is too beneficial, right? From Hong Kong to Sicily, disguised to solve the mafia. Then come to Japan to visit the Yakuza gang. Also touching them, sumo, then many other places in the world. He attacked a notorious domestic organization. Wade is still in the old style of rebellion, slashing this person, burning the other. But in the end, the leader hid into the shelter. Deadpool shot dead his last subordinates, then used his hand to smear blood on the camera. He was about to rush in to end him. The sliding clock pointed to the anniversary of love, and the junior of the other man followed the ass. Deadpool only has water on the neck. He ran, took a taxi driven by Dopinder. "Mr. Taxi, taxi, hurry to drive." Both are now good friends. Dopinder wishes to become a hero like Deadpool, to eliminate evil. Wade returned home. Vanessa is waiting for him to return. Wade finds enough reasons to justify the late return, but she soon saw through him. Vanessa rushed to hug Wade. The two exchanged a passionate kiss. They exchanged souvenirs together. He gave her a game from the first place where the two met, and Vanessa handed Wade a gift that he always wished for. She decided to have a baby with him. All three of them are happy. Throughout that night, they were extremely excited about naming their children. She said it is important for children. They have the opportunity to become better than us. While Wade cooked, she was still happy to find the right name, looking at his wife smiling and talking lovely like a flower. But immediately, Deadpool sensed danger. Thugs just now stormed into the house. Vanessa rolled down the chair, and he held a pan of bullets, then used a knife from the rack next to attack the level. Spoiled for Wade to sprung silk? It seems to be safe. Suddenly, the guy appeared with a gun to shoot Wade. He launched the last knife into him, but unfortunately, a bullet hit Vanessa. She immediately stopped breathing. Deadpool embraced the painful beauty, screaming. Then, holding a gun, he broke the glass door, chasing the killer. When he crossed the street, he was hit by a car. The killer took the opportunity to escape, but his eye was also injured in the accident. Wade ran to hit the car, causing him to splash out. Then he hugged him tightly and rushed into the truck. Of course, Deadpool did not die. This immortal body is also a curse for him. Wade stayed in Weasel's pub. Every day he drank alcohol and discharged floods on the spot. But Dopinder was cleaning. He has now become a student of Deadpool. Can't let your best friend keep like that. Weasel advises him. Deadpool understands. He went to the blind old lady's house, silently opened the floor to take away a bag of cash. Blind Al thought someone had broken in, so she hooked the gun, but only flipped. The old lady advised him to live well. Listen to her. She is her teacher. Pain teaches us who we are. Sometimes it is very painful. You feel like you are going to die. But you don't really die when we have never died. Saying sorry, Weasel was lost. It turned out that the idiot played with the cash. That's why there is a scene with the petrol bomb, like the beginning of the movie. While dreaming, he saw the beauty Vanessa. She was still the same in the house, but there is always an invisible wall. The beauty only said his heart has not been placed in the right place. The sound of the oven cried him back to reality. At this time, Colossus came to Deadpool's house. Gathering all of Wade's body debris, he took him to X-Men's castle. 3 days later, he woke up. Colossus told him to start a new beginning to forget the pain, so he decided to force him to join the mutant organization. Here, Wade met more pink-haired Negasonics' girlfriend. Colossus began to flip the book to read X-Men's rules. Not yet the second thing, he has disappeared. Wade drove a wheelchair around the building, continuously complaining that there are only 2 X-Men. Also revealed the desire to reunite with Vanessa. The angered Colossus threw him out of the car. However, Wade still refused to participate. Colossus grabbed his neck and reminded him he should find a purpose instead of torturing himself like that. He said there was a culprit escaping, himself. Deadpool can kill everything but cannot kill himself. Colossus comforted him that he always considered Wade as a friend, and perhaps X-Men is the family he belongs to. At this time, Wade remembered the saying of Vanessa. He hugged Colossus to put his hand on the American flag. Meanwhile, in a ruined place, Cable, a half-man, half-machine soldier, arrived from the future to prevent the person who causes death to his wife and children. The next morning, Colossus took Wade to the mutant school to do a task. Here, Fire Fist, Russell, is using firepower to attack the school. Wade immediately approached the angry boy. The boy proclaimed himself Fire Fist. After that, the boy immediately used fire to knock Negasonic flying. Deadpool wants to persuade Russell, but his clown character keeps making him laugh. The boy angrily launched fire. Colossus and Wade receive blasts. Wade pulled the gun to see him off to heaven quickly, but thinking again, it's just a kid. He guessed the poor boy was scared and lonely. He wanted to use empathy to convince the boy, but talking too much, he was thrown up by Russell. Deadpool frustratedly tore off the yellow X-Men patch, then landed in a superhero style. He quickly fell near the boy. He stabbed a sword into the head of the book, make the boy faint. Immediately, he received a rain of hands from the masses. The feeling of making the hero also happy. Police put a power-dampening collar on the boy. The principal stood out. Deadpool did this well. The rest let him worry. Right now, Wade was enlightened to ask for help. He said that here is not a school, but child abuse. Wade immediately stood up and said only a few moments. The boy can be a hero, but it is not why. After saying that, he did something that no one dared to do. He shot the abusive headmaster. Colossus suddenly rushed to stop him, also explained the boy was abused. But for people who need structure, everything needs rules. And Wade just wants to protect the weak, then play dirty. Colossus was extremely disappointed about him, so the two were collared and sent to prison. The convoy entered a prison located deep in the snowy mountains. This is a prison holding superpowered mutants like Deadpool and the boy, Fire Fist. Displaying the calendar, he also did not forget the comedy. In the end, the prisoners were excited. Because of his power locked, Deadpool began to feel pain. Cancer cells also gradually tortured him. And the young man who couldn't use his power will die. Then selfie with the murderous principal, starting by the fact that he will fight the biggest guy here, a huge monster called Juggernaut. Cable robbed the car of two drinkers, Ice. In the Deadpool cell, they were eating. Fire Fist said because the two of them were friends, he would protect him. The sense of dragging the homemade knife from the pen indicates him. Not only had he eaten a faint punch, they stabbed the knife into Deadpool's hand, then beat him down. Then the crowd rushed to fight the council. Wade brought a bone face to the cell. Please let him die. Deadpool advised him not to try to kill the biggest child, but make friends with it. Then hold the field in his hand, remember the beauty of Vanessa. That night, Cable attacked the prison, threw a plate of bombs, exploding the whole system. Then cut into the wire, unlocked the cells, liberating the prisoners. The mutants were chaotic. Cable rushed to fight with the prisoners. Once Cable had resolved the guards, the shot and guns exploded near Deadpool's cell. Fortunately, Deadpool escaped and led the boy to flee. Cable detected Deadpool continuously. Deadpool! He used an iron plate to beat the prisoners to clear the way, but he was immediately blocked by Cable. It turned out that the person he wanted to kill was the boy. Deadpool rushed out to prevent him from assassinating the innocent boy. But he was very strong. Deadpool was not his opponent. In this situation, Wade fell very quickly. But instead of running, Fire Fist rushed to stab Cable. He chased the boy down when he was stopped by Cable. When he was about to catch Fire Fist, Wade defied him and hugged him downstairs, causing the whole floor to collapse. At the same time, the collar also fell out. Cable woke up. He shot the boy to the ground. At this time, Wade opened his eyes to wake up, stopped him with an iron rod. Exhorting him he couldn't kill the boy, he also introduced himself as Batman. Then took the gun of the guy. Cable used it to support, but was also thrown away by strength. Deadpool carried his gun on the shoulders and went to find Cable. Asked the reason why Cable wanted to kill the 14-year-old boy. Knowing that he came from the future, he should take advantage to ask some more questions for fun. Cable quickly captured the gun on the cage above. Both struggled, causing the gun
fall out. Start using hands to fight. Wade took advantage of his immortal advantage, using a broken arm to grab his neck. Cable took out a knife and stabbed Wade. He hugged him and jumped into the rubble. Then he swung Shaolin to fly him and take away his crashed field. Wade lost his temper, but he turned back and forth after another punch. Cable questioned why he helped the boy. Deadpool said he was not interested in the book because Fire Fist kept annoying him. Unexpectedly, the boy who had just heard was hurt. The boy was extremely upset and abandoned by Cable. Deadpool took his grenades, pulled the pin to take the two people down the snowy mountain. Cable grasped the stone, and the Deadpool head was hit by the rock, then fell into the ravine below. In the maze of his mind, he saw Vanessa again, but could not get close to her. At this time, the beauty suggested, "Children give us the opportunity. He must protect that kid." Wade woke up to climb ashore and went to the pub to say that he would go to save the boy. Weasel said that they will move prisoners to a super security prison. Wade outlined the urgent plan, and the first thing was to gather a team. Of course, with the courageous ability of the taxi driver, Doppender was included. In prison, Fire Fist fought prisoners, brought food to the monster Juggernaut in the basement. He said he wanted him to become part of his team. Deadpool and his best friend started recruiting members, gathering a black guy with electronic control, Bedlam, a sick guy who could vomit acid, Zeitgeist, and an invisible guy, Vanisher. Also, Domino, a girl with superpowers of luck, and the civilian Peter filed for fun. The next day, the police moved prisoners to the car. The convoy began to depart for a new location. Cable catches up now. He doesn't need any interrogation. Just wipes his gun, gets information about Wade's plan. The next morning, Wade's helicopter went to rescue the boy. He decided to name the team something like X-Men, but much more developed, called X-Force. Upon arrival, everyone excitedly jumped down. The righteous spirit boiled in Deadpool. But before he could do anything, Wade was entangled on the sign. And the black man crashed his head into the bus. The stealth uncle was shocked by the picture. The remaining people died in turn. Only the lucky girl was safe. Responding to the vehicle transporting prisoners, the beauty flew. The police in charge of driving the car? Deadpool stole a motorbike chasing behind. Cable also appears from above. He jumped onto the truck. Then shot an anti-tank shot, but didn't hit due to the luck of Domino. She clung to the car, removed a door inside. She fell. Oxygen? Cable cut the tail of the tree. The bomb fell out and broke the car. Wade crashed into Doppender's taxi to get momentum to the truck, but the ending is face first. Domino handed the steering wheel to the goddess of luck. Went behind the car, holding the foot of the boyfriend. Deadpool had just stood up. He was shot at by the police. He took a gun back to shoot at him. Then used the sword to stab into the accelerator, put his butt on the driver. Domino fell. Cable? But she is fast, quickly hit and jumped on his neck clip. Still dramatically for Wade to jump into the truck. The two rushed to struggle and shot. He shot Cable dead. Cable shot the first bullet. Wade easily used a sword to cut it in half. Then did acrobatics to avoid the next volley, causing the whole person to search everywhere. Then Deadpool rushed to fight him. The truck lost brakes. Domino luckily drove through buildings to reduce the speed. Cable at this time used a knife to open up. The boy came to release the monster. Juggernaut punched the ground, causing the bridge to collapse. Cable held a gun and missed Fire Fist, but missed. Wade fell on his face. Domino was lucky enough to land on a giant super teddy bear. After waking up, Deadpool saw something wrong. He twisted his head, seeing the boy walked out with Juggernaut. Deadpool wholeheartedly advised, but the boy did not care. The monster went to his car to make the tail and then left. The boy did not forget to tease Wade before leaving. Domino carried Wade's upper half to the blind old lady's house. Here his legs started to grow. Blind Al ran to him extremely unexpectedly, with Wade's baby foot. Doppender and Domino visited and asked to participate in catching Cable, but Deadpool decided to act alone. Being bad at speaking, the characters were badly spoken behind everyone's backs. All of them simultaneously pointed guns about him. This time, Cable came to ask Wade to help, because he could not fight alone. Cable said that he came here to tell Deadpool about the future. Tonight, Fire Fist will kill the principal, slaughter the orphanage, and begin his path to killing. Sympathizing with the pain of loss from Cable and wanting to save innocent children, Wade decided to help him, on the condition that Cable also gave Fire Fist a chance. He used his baby legs to wear his pants to the rafters with him. Mr. Taxi brought Deadpool, Domino, and Cable to seek help from Colossus. On the way, they did not forget to argue about the boy story. Coming to X-Men Castle, Wade turned on a song and apologized extremely sincerely to Colossus. But he did not want to hear. Finally, Deadpool just got thrown away. The boy, Fire Fist, and the evil Juggernaut went to the mutant orphanage. The principal evacuated children to go to another place. Outside, Deadpool and his teammates had just come to the mutant orphanage. Domino realized this was the place where she grew up under violence. Everyone immediately
went inside. Seeing Fire Fist chasing the principal fled. The boy exploded fire inward. Cable shot outside at Wade's team. Cable shot out a gun to fly Juggernaut, but the evil man was not so bad. He went to jerk his gun. Deadpool rushed on to plug two swords into Juggernaut's neck. He quickly kicked Cable, then pounded Wade's foot, hit the fence and threw him away. An iron bar through Wade's head. Domino slipped over the guy who shot and ran. Inside, the boy caught up with the principal, using fire everywhere. Right at the most desperate, Colossus appeared. He picked up Wade. Two people cuddly like a couple. Wade also demanded that the enemy Colossus open the magic. The Iron Man then pulled out the iron bar, then received the battle with Juggernaut. He worried quickly, punched the monster's face. Juggernaut woke up angrily. He tore his sleeves, took a punch of Colossus to break his wrist. Punching and punching, damaging the head? There is also a continuous pounding on the ground. The screaming? Colossus broke an iron bar, stabbed his face, and poked at his brother. Wade and Cable went into the fight with the school staff. Domino easily broke into it, quickly beat all the staff in the cheers of the children. The evil people were influenced by her lucky ability, automatically rolling out to die? When Domino wanted to have a bus to wait for the children, outside Juggernaut entered a throw. Juggernaut is using his power to corner the principal. When Cable came to use a shield to prevent the fire, causing everything to collapse. The principal fled with the extremely perverted general. Colossus is still holding Juggernaut? He holds the iron bar but has nothing to do with him. On the contrary, Juggernaut easily grabbed him. At this time, Negasonic and his girlfriend also went to the hospital. Negasonic's girlfriend used her powers to dazzle the legs of the monster. Juggernaut ready to stuff the wire into his butt? Negasonic blasted him into the water tank. Inside, Cable crushed Juggernaut to the ground. The boy emitted his ability, burning his hand. Deadpool ran to the boy. He was thrown out by the boy. Juggernaut stepped out with fiery hands. Fire Fist's ability being used more and more mature, continuously launching fire at them. Wade tried to convince the boy, if he killed the principal, he becomes the evil like the one he hates. Wade said he was also violent, so he could understand his pain, and also apologized for abandoning Fire Fist. He went to hug the boy, but Fire Fist no longer believed Wade. Burning him, he pushed him out. Deadpool still did not give up. He used his strength to hold his neck, hoping to awaken the boy's firm heart. But the boy was completely alienated, not stopping his hand and revealing all his strength. Cable can't wait anymore. He ran to the side to grab the gun before Fire Fist destroyed everyone, preparing to shoot the last bullet. But now Deadpool had ran to shield Fire Fist, which wakes the boy. The black burner beside the clean white tree? Meaning the future has been changed. Wade stops Cable. Colossus removed the collar. Now Cable carries the body of ordinary people? This time, Wade can let him reunite with Vanessa already. He started to say his last few words and left, but suddenly recalled something to relive. Give the watch to Domino. Saying goodbye to Negasonic and Pinkhair, and begged Colossus to say the enemy for me. Then sent visits to the family of Cable. Finally holding a burning hand. Instructed the boy to become a superhero later. Then sang 6 more ancient words to die. In his dream, he met his muse again. This time there was no wall. She took his arm to pull him inside. He said he had completed the mission and cuddled her. Then she felt the instability was about to be apart. The beauty hugged him. Do not give up. But right now, the time of sliding time weighed back, because Cable has used a little energy to return to save Wade. Before the bullet hit, he stuffed a metal plate into Deadpool's chest, thus preventing the bullet, even though this would make Cable unable to return anymore. But his wife and children were safe, because the boy changed his mind after Wade sacrificed to save him. Everyone came back together. The principal was afraid. They would forget to curse. The eye was injured by Dopender's taxi, and the taxi drove to death. They are now officially a family together. At the end of the movie, Negasonic repaired the time-based travel equipment of Cable. Deadpool used it to return to the anniversary, launching the head of the boss to save his wife. After that, he also saved Peter, a member who was not capable from X-Force. The movie here is the end. This movie is interesting, right? If there is a hero who lives as long as leeches, only Deadpool's only. Despite the happy appearance, his heart is a righteous person, always punishing the bad guys in the movie. Note that only in the movie. Haha. So both films have ended. If you find it interesting, give yourself a like, along with a comment about this movie. Especially, subscribe to the channel to watch your latest movie summary. See you, dear friends.